Hey, everybody, it is Friday and I'm late, but I have good reason. I have my really good friend in town today, Coach Jim Vance, who is currently coaching Olympian Ben Canute, who I can tell you because I heard him in my kitchen late at night. He got up in the middle of the night to watch Ben's race. So that was really exciting to see Ben continue to have success. And so, anyway, it's been a crazy day. I had to let him take me out on the bike and kind of smash me up a little bit today on the bike for old time's sake. So it's been a little while since I've had to try to stabilize my bike at such slow speeds, but I was able to do it and make Jim feel good about himself. So I've also, at least I was able to talk to him about some really cool running with power tips and things that he's been checking out. So we will definitely maybe touch on some of that in some of these future updates. But you can also check it out in the triathlete community. We'll probably try to talk about some of those things there as well. But today, I wanted to talk a little bit, again, about something that came up with the athletes that we spoke about in the virtual squad this week. And it is, when should you call it quits or kind of give up? Or how do you know when you should make up a workout or move things around? And that's one of the things that I try to explain to my athletes all the time. Your body doesn't sync with Microsoft Outlook, right? So it's like you cannot move things forward. So what I see a lot of times, and this happens a lot because people will traditionally do like a really big thing on the weekend, like let's say Sunday, but because the weeks turn over, they feel like it's out of mind. The body will forget about it and they can move something forward on Monday and smash themselves on Monday just because it's a new week. It would be just like moving a workout and doing it right after a long ride or a run on Wednesday to Thursday, right? So just because it's Sunday to Monday and the weeks change, it doesn't really matter. So here's what I would say. If you are struggling with balancing life and all that other stuff, or maybe you're just not feeling good with a workout and you're not sure if you should do it or make it up or call it quits. A general rule of thumb, when I would head out the door and I would try to do a workout and things just were not feeling great, I would first try to do the effort that the workout was calling for. So let's say, for example, it was asking me to do 3 by 5 minute efforts at 5K run pace, right? And so if I went out and did 5 minutes at my 5K run pace and I looked down at my Garmin and I started to see like my pace just wasn't syncing up with my effort, then obviously I have to start to evaluate why that might be, right? So am I tired? Am I stressed? Have I been training a long time? Am I tired by design? There's obviously, and that's where it's not such a simple answer all the time. But here's what I would suggest. As long as you can stay steady with the effort, so if the first interval to the second interval to the third interval remains the same, my suggestion is if all things are equal and you don't feel like you're being sick and you're obviously not fighting an injury or something like that, then I would stick with it and see how you feel. If you have more than 2 or 3, definitely 3, but if 2 days of that starts happening in the row, and then on the third day you still feel like that, I would definitely check in with your coach and kind of, it might be, again, something still by design, but that's a good time to kind of raise your hand and be like, hold on here, I have 3 days now, not just 3 workouts that I've had in a row that feel a little subpar. Is this something that I should battle through, or is this something that we maybe need to think about modifying? And a lot of times too, because as coaches, we don't know, just like you don't know what's going to happen in your life outside of coaching. And it's so hard to quantify that stress, especially before you write the workouts and you don't know if, like when I'm writing my athletes' workouts, I don't know if their kids are going to get sick next week or if there's going to be, extra job stress or whatever, good or bad. So definitely if you have more than 2 days in a row, you want to raise your hand. Now, if within that workout, my general rule of thumb is you start to see a drop off and your drop off is more than 10% inside of that workout. So I'm going to try to not do, well, let's see, 8 times 6 would be 48, right? So if you start at 8-minute pace, right, and you're dropping like adding 48 seconds per mile pace type thing by the middle of at any one time, I would say your workout's done. So in general, if you start adding 10% or dropping 10% power, you're probably over fatigued or something else is going on. And I would just call it quits and head home because you're no longer going to be getting the benefit of the workout for that. The other thing that I'll say too is I had an athlete miss something on Wednesday this week, and she asked me if she can just put it in on Friday because she felt guilty, like a lot of athletes do, that they're not able to. Steve says he feels old every workout. I doubt it. I've seen you work out, Steve, and I've seen your races, so we're not buying it. But so she said, can I just make that workout up and throw it up on Friday? And at some point, you have to realize you have to just let it go, and you have to just move forward. And I'm not saying that's always the case, but my question back to this athlete was, is doing that workout going to put you in a position that you are going to not be able to execute the weekend? Because this athlete that I'm talking about works during the week, and the weekend is really set up for her, some of her key sessions. So if doing that workout on Friday is going to compromise your ability to do good quality workouts on the weekend, then I would really consider at least modifying that workout and maybe scrubbing some of the intensity. So if you're feeling a little anxious and you want to get some blood flow, and maybe this particular workout I'm talking about was a bike, so maybe you want to take the intensity out of the bike, but you still feel like riding your bike because you want to, because you feel you need to, then that's another way that you can kind of modify as well too. But you want to think about, and I also kind of draw the line too here. Like, I'll have athletes ask me things like, well, what about this? Or what about this? Or what about this? I honestly, personally draw the line at yoga. I think yoga is great. I don't usually schedule it for my athletes unless there's an injury or some type of situation that I need to be aware of it. But like, for example, when you start adding that type of stuff, as long as it's not affecting the things that we need to be doing in order to get you ready for your goal, if it is, we need to have a conversation about why you want to do it, what you're trying to get out of it, and then do we need to incorporate it. Then I just let my athletes kind of schedule that stuff, like the yoga and that kind of stuff on their own too. So hopefully this helps. I feel like this is something that people struggle with all the time because, even pros will go out that we've coached where this is their job. And so even they'll go out sometimes and they'll just not be feeling it. But definitely age groupers, you guys are so badass because you're out there going super fast right now. You're all in on this sport. I've seen it. You're just as passionate. I would even argue sometimes even more passionate than the pros, because even coming home being tired or having to get up early in order to do work or balance family and all the other obligations, you still commit to doing really cool things and being ambitious about your results, which is my new anthem, right? I like helping people who have ambition and they're targeting results, right? And so I think that you guys are awesome. Just sometimes we get painted into a corner because life happens and we don't really always know, or you guys don't always know what to deal with it. You can always ask us, reach out on the Triathlete community page, which is a free Facebook page. And we're happy to help all the time. And you can also sign up for a free consultation. We do free consultations on superflycoaching.com. I personally reach back out and schedule a 30-minute call with anybody who's interested in that type of consultation as well too, if you have questions. So hopefully everyone has a great weekend, and we will talk to you all next week.